Kofi walked quickly through the quiet streets of the city. The snow was falling heavily, covering everything in a soft white blanket. The wind was cold and sharp, cutting through his coat and chilling his bones. He pulled his scarf tighter around his neck and kept moving. The streetlights glowed softly, reflecting on the snow and making the city look peaceful, even in the middle of the storm. Kofi worked as a teacher at a small community school. He loved his job because he got to help children learn, and he always tried to teach them not just about books but about kindness and courage. Today he had stayed late at school, helping students with a science project. He had been explaining how plants could grow in small spaces using water and light. By the time he finished, it was dark and snow had started to fall heavily. As he walked home, he noticed a small car stuck in the middle of the road. Its wheels were spinning in the snow and a woman was trying to push it, but she could not move it. She wore a bright jacket and a scarf that covered part of her face, but Kofi could see the worry in her eyes. She looked exhausted and cold. Without thinking twice, Kofi ran toward her. He shouted, "Do you need help?" The woman looked up and nodded. "Yes, please. I can't get my car out." Kofi knelt by the car and examined the wheels. The snow had frozen around the tires and the ground was slippery. He knew that pushing the car alone would be hard, but he also knew that if he helped her, it could make a big difference. "Let's try together," Kofi said, standing up. "You push from inside and I will push from outside." The woman nodded again, shivering. She got into the driver's seat and Kofi grabbed the back of the car. With a few deep breaths, he pushed as hard as he could. The tires spun, the car slid slightly, and Kofi felt a small spark of hope. "Keep going," he shouted, encouraging the woman. After several tries, the car finally moved a little. Kofi and the woman smiled at each other. "We're almost there," he said. "One more push." Together they pushed with all their strength. The wheels finally caught on the snow and the car moved free from its frozen trap. The woman stepped out and laughed softly, a sound full of relief. "Thank you so much," she said, her eyes shining. "I don't know what I would have done without you." Kofi smiled. "It's nothing. I just wanted to help." The woman looked at him for a moment and said, "You are very kind. I hope the world has more people like you." Kofi felt warm inside despite the cold. He didn't expect anything in return. Helping someone had always felt right to him. "I just believe in helping when you can," he replied. The woman nodded and got back into her car. She started the engine and the car drove slowly down the snowy street. Kofi watched it go, feeling a sense of satisfaction. Then he turned and walked home, his boots crunching in the snow. As he walked, he thought about the day. It had been tiring, but he felt happy. Helping the woman had reminded him why he loved teaching and helping others. In his life, he had faced many challenges, but he always tried to do the right thing. He believed that even small acts of kindness could change someone's day, or maybe even their life. The streets were almost empty now. A few other people hurried past, their heads down and scarves wrapped tightly. The snow kept falling and Kofi enjoyed the quiet. He liked moments like this when the city seemed calm and still, even in the middle of a storm. When he reached his apartment, he opened the door and stepped inside. The warmth of his home made him sigh with relief. He took off his coat and boots and hung them carefully. Then he went to the kitchen and made himself a cup of tea. He sat by the window and watched the snow falling, feeling peaceful. As he sipped his tea, Kofi thought about the woman in the car. He did not know who she was and he did not expect to see her again. Yet something about the way she had smiled at him stayed in his mind. It was a smile full of gratitude and trust. He realized that helping someone in need did not require reward or recognition. The act itself was its own reward. After finishing his tea, Kofi went to his small desk by the window. He liked to write sometimes, especially about his day or things he learned from his students. He picked up a notebook and wrote, "Today I helped someone in need." It felt good. Kindness is a light in the darkness. Even in a storm, small actions can make a difference. He closed the notebook and placed it on the shelf. Then he prepared for bed, feeling tired but happy. He thought about how the world could be a better place if people helped each other, even in small ways. The next morning, Kofi woke up to find that the snow had covered the city completely. The streets were white and the sunlight reflected off the snow, making everything look bright and new. He dressed quickly and went out to clear the small pathway in front of his apartment. As he shoveled, he noticed footprints leading from the street to his building. Curiously, he followed them and found a small envelope left on his doorstep. Kofi picked it up and opened it. Inside was a card with elegant handwriting. It said, "Dear Kofi, your kindness yesterday did not go unnoticed. Please come to 12 Horizon Avenue at 10 a.m. today. I have something to show you." Kofi's eyes widened. He did not know who the card was from, but he felt a strange mix of excitement and curiosity. He had never received anything like this before. He looked around, but no one was nearby. The snow continued to fall softly, and the city seemed quiet and calm. He folded the card and put it in his pocket. Kofi thought about going, but he felt that perhaps this was an opportunity to learn something new or meet someone interesting. He decided to go and see what awaited him. As the clock struck 10, Kofi stepped outside wearing his warm coat and scarf. The snow was falling lightly, and he followed the directions on the card. Soon, he arrived at a large building with a shining metal surface that reflected the sunlight. It looked different from anything he had seen before. The doors opened automatically as he approached, and he walked inside with a mixture of awe and nervousness. Inside, the building was filled with advanced machines and bright lights. Robots moved around performing tasks with precision. Kofi stopped for a moment, taking in the sight. It felt like stepping into the future. A soft voice called, "Kofi, welcome." He turned to see the woman from yesterday standing there, smiling. Her name was Arya, and today she looked even more confident and calm. "I am glad you came," she said. "I wanted to thank you properly and show you something important." Kofi listened as Arya explained that she was a billionaire who funded projects to improve life on Earth and explore new planets. She told him that she had been impressed not only by his act of kindness, but by his work as a teacher and his dedication to helping others. She invited him to join a project that could change the future of humanity. Kofi felt amazed. He never expected that helping a stranger in a snowstorm could lead to something like this. He realized that simple actions, when done with a good heart, could create unexpected opportunities. His life was about to change, and it all began with one act of kindness on a snowy night. Kofi looked at Arya and nodded. "I will do my best," he said. "I want to help in any way I can." Arya smiled, and for the first time Kofi felt that the snowstorm was just the beginning of something much bigger. He could not yet imagine all the adventures and challenges ahead, but he was ready to face them. The future was full of possibilities, and it started with a simple choice to help someone in need. The next morning, Kofi could hardly sleep. His mind was filled with thoughts of the previous day and the card that had led him to Arya's building. He felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Who was she really, and what did she want from him? He dressed quickly, made himself a cup of tea, and sat by the window. The city was quiet under a soft blanket of snow. Sunlight reflected off the rooftops and made everything shine like glass. Kofi remembered Arya's words from yesterday. She had thanked him for helping her in the snowstorm and had asked him to come to her building. Now he wondered what she had meant when she said she wanted to show him something important. He had never received an invitation like this before, and the mystery made him curious. At exactly 10 o'clock, Kofi stepped outside and walked toward the location she had mentioned. The streets were still white and calm, and he noticed children playing in small piles of snow, building snowmen and throwing snowballs at each other. For a moment, Kofi smiled. Life could be simple and joyful, even in a city that sometimes seemed too busy or too cold. Soon, Kofi arrived at the building again. This time he noticed more details. The metal walls reflected the sunlight perfectly, and the doors opened automatically as he approached. Inside, the air smelled faintly of machines and fresh electronics. Robots moved around quietly, carrying small packages or cleaning surfaces. The walls were lined with glowing screens, showing maps of planets, data about the Earth, and designs of futuristic machines. Kofi's eyes widened in wonder. Arya appeared from one of the rooms and smiled warmly at him. "Kofi, I'm glad you came," she said. "I want to show you why your help yesterday mattered and why I think you could be part of something extraordinary." Kofi felt a little nervous but nodded. "I am ready to listen," he said. Arya led him down a long corridor into a large room filled with machines and glowing panels. There were several people working, all wearing white uniforms and small robots moving alongside them. The room looked like something from a science fiction story, but Kofi could see that everything was real. "This is one of our main facilities," Arya explained. "We focus on projects that can help humanity. We create new technologies for energy, transportation, communication, and even space exploration. We believe in using science to make life better for everyone, not just a few. Kofi listened carefully. He had always loved learning, and seeing all this advanced technology amazed him. "This is incredible," he said. "I never imagined anything like this existed." Arya smiled. "It is real, Kofi, and I want you to be part of it. I watched you yesterday in the snowstorm, and I saw not just your strength but your kindness. Those qualities are rare, and they matter more than any skill alone." Kofi felt a little shy. "I didn't do anything special," he said. "I just helped someone who needed it." Arya shook her head. "Helping someone in need is special. It shows character, and character is what makes a person a true leader. That is why I want you to join our next project." Kofi's heart started to beat faster. "A project?" he asked. "Yes," Arya said. "We are preparing to send a team to a new planet called Nova Terra. We plan to create a human colony there, to learn how humans can live and thrive in a new world. We need people who are smart, brave, and kind. We need people like you." Kofi felt a mix of emotions. Excitement, fear, and disbelief all rushed through him at once. "Me?" he asked. "I am just a teacher. I have never been to space, and I don't know anything about colonies or missions like that." Arya walked closer and looked at him kindly. "Kofi, we can teach you everything you need to know. What matters is your heart and your mind. You can learn skills, but you cannot teach courage or kindness. Those are already inside you." Kofi thought about her words. He had always believed that helping others and doing the right thing mattered more than being famous or rich. Now he realized that these small values could lead to big opportunities. He took a deep breath and said, "I will do my best." "I want to help," Arya smiled. "Good. Tomorrow you will begin your training. You will learn piloting, survival skills, and how to work with advanced AI companions. This is not an easy journey, but I believe you can do it." Kofi nodded, feeling a mixture of pride and nervousness. He could not yet imagine what the journey would be like, but he felt ready to try. Arya led him to another room where several small devices floated in the air. Each device was shaped like a glowing orb and seemed to respond to their movements. "These are our AI assistants," she explained. "They can help you with tasks, teach you, and even keep you company during long missions. You will meet one soon. I think you will like it." Kofi reached out to touch one of the floating devices. It hovered above his hand and glowed brighter. "Hello, Kofi," a soft voice said. "I am Lumo, your companion. I will help you and keep you safe." Kofi laughed softly. "You talk like a person," he said. "This is amazing." Lumo's light blinked as if smiling. "I am designed to learn from you as well. We will work together." For the rest of the day, Arya showed Kofi around the facility. He saw rooms filled with plants growing under special lights, machines that could build food and water supplies, and spacecraft that looked ready to leave the planet. Kofi could hardly believe it. Everything seemed like something out of a dream. As they walked, Arya explained why she wanted to build colonies on other planets. "Earth is beautiful, but it has limits. To secure the future of humanity, we must explore new worlds. We need people who are smart, creative, and compassionate. People who can lead and care for others. That is why I asked you to join us." Kofi listened and felt inspired. He thought about the snowstorm, about helping a stranger without expecting anything in return. He realized that small acts of courage and kindness could lead to something much bigger. His life was changing, and he felt ready to face the challenges ahead. At the end of the tour, Arya took him to a large observation window. Below, robots and people worked together to prepare a spacecraft for testing. The ship gleamed in the sunlight, its sleek design ready for space travel. "This is where your journey begins," she said. "Tomorrow you will start your training. You will learn everything needed to explore new worlds and help build a future for humanity." Kofi felt a mixture of excitement and nervousness. He looked at the spacecraft and imagined flying through the stars, helping to create a new home for people. He thought about the students he taught and how he could inspire them to dream bigger. He thought about the woman in the snowstorm and how one act of kindness had changed his life. Arya smiled at him.
"I know this will be a big change for you, Kofi, but I also know that you are ready."
Remember, courage and kindness are your greatest tools. Skills can be taught, but heart cannot be learned. You already have what matters most. Kofi nodded, feeling a new sense of purpose. "I understand," he said. "I am ready to learn and to help." Arya handed him a small tablet. "This contains information about your training schedule and your first lessons. Study it tonight. Tomorrow everything begins. Kofi took the tablet and thanked her. He left the facility feeling both excited and nervous. The city outside was calm and white under the snow. He walked slowly, thinking about everything he had seen. His life was no longer the same. A simple act of kindness had opened the door to a future he could not yet fully imagine. At home, Kofi reviewed the tablet carefully. It showed lessons about piloting, survival, teamwork, and using AI companions. He realized that he would face many challenges, but he felt ready. The snowstorm had been the first step, and now he was taking the second step into a larger world. As night fell, Kofi sat by his window and looked at the stars. He thought about the journey ahead, about new worlds and new adventures. He felt a sense of excitement and purpose that he had never felt before. He knew that he could face whatever challenges came his way, as long as he stayed true to his heart and values. The next morning, Kofi dressed warmly and prepared to return to the facility. He was ready to begin training to learn new skills and to explore the future. For the first time in his life, he felt that anything was possible. One act of kindness had led him to this moment, and he was determined to make the most of it. As he stepped outside, the snow had stopped falling. The streets were clear, and sunlight reflected off the buildings and snow-covered ground. Kofi took a deep breath and smiled. The world was bright, full of opportunity and waiting for him. He felt a sense of hope and determination. The journey was beginning, and Kofi knew that he was ready to face the future. He walked toward the building with purpose, feeling that every step he took was leading him to something extraordinary. The morning sun shone brightly over the city as Kofi walked toward Arya's facility. Today was the first day of his training, and he felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The snow from the previous days had melted, leaving streets that were wet but clear. Kofi tightened his scarf and walked with determination. This was the beginning of a journey he never imagined when he had stepped out into the snowstorm weeks ago. As he entered the facility, he was greeted by Arya and several staff members in white uniforms. They welcomed him warmly and introduced him to a training schedule that was designed to teach new recruits everything needed for life on another planet. Kofi was amazed at the variety of lessons he would experience: piloting, survival, teamwork, communication, and even problem-solving with advanced technology. "Your first lesson will be with Lumo," Arya said, smiling. "Your AI companion will help you learn, and you will learn from it as well." Kofi followed a technician into a bright room filled with floating holograms and soft glowing lights. Lumo hovered in the center, shining brightly. "Good morning, Kofi," the AI said cheerfully. "Are you ready to begin?" Kofi nodded. "Yes, I am ready." Lumo's light blinked as if smiling. "Very well. We will start with orientation and basic communication. I will teach you how to interact with the systems here. Then we will move on to piloting exercises." The first few hours were filled with instructions about the facility, how to move safely, and how to operate small drones that assisted with training. Kofi learned quickly, and Lumo guided him patiently. Every time Kofi made a mistake, Lumo explained gently and helped him correct it. "You are a fast learner," Lumo said. "Your mind is sharp and your heart is steady." "That combination is rare," Kofi smiled. "Thank you, Lumo. I am learning from you too." After orientation, Kofi moved to the piloting room. The spacecraft simulators were sleek and advanced, with holographic displays showing planets, stars, and asteroid fields. Kofi sat in one of the pilot seats, feeling the controls beneath his hands. The simulator hummed to life, and he could see a virtual planet in front of him. "Your first exercise is to navigate through a meteor field," Lumo instructed. "You must stay calm and focus on observation, timing, and careful movement." Kofi took a deep breath. He remembered the snowstorm and how he had kept calm to help the woman with her car. He realized that the patience and courage he had used then would help him now. Slowly, he guided the virtual ship through the field, dodging obstacles and following Lumo's guidance. "Excellent, Kofi," Lumo said. "You are adjusting quickly. Keep your focus and you will succeed in even the most difficult situations." Kofi felt proud. For the first time, he realized that he could handle challenges he never imagined. Each exercise made him more confident. The day continued with lessons on teamwork. Kofi joined a small group of recruits, and together they had to solve problems using logic, communication, and cooperation. They practiced building shelters in simulated environments, navigating unfamiliar terrain and handling unexpected problems. Kofi's natural kindness and patience made him a strong team member. He encouraged others, helped them when they struggled, and shared ideas freely. One exercise involved a simulated emergency on a new planet. The team had to work together to save a small group of virtual settlers who were trapped in a cave. Kofi quickly organized the group, assigned roles, and guided them with calm authority. They completed the exercise successfully, and the trainers applauded. "You have strong leadership skills, Kofi," one trainer said. "You inspire confidence and you listen to others." "That is very rare." Kofi felt happy, but he stayed humble. He knew that he still had much to learn. He also realized that his ability to care for others and stay calm under pressure was as important as any skill he could learn. Later in the afternoon, Kofi had his first survival training session. He was taken to a large simulation room designed to mimic a harsh planetary environment. The temperature was cold, the terrain rough, and resources were limited. Kofi had to find food and water, build a small shelter, and stay safe while following instructions from Lumo. At first, Kofi struggled. The simulation was difficult and he made mistakes. But Lumo encouraged him patiently. "Remember, Kofi, every problem has a solution. Stay calm, observe carefully, and act with care." Kofi took a deep breath and analyzed the situation. He noticed patterns in the environment, discovered where water could be collected, and built a small but strong shelter. He even found a way to gather food using the limited tools provided. Lumo's voice was full of approval. "You adapted quickly. Your determination and observation skills are impressive." By the end of the day, Kofi felt tired but accomplished. He realized that this training was teaching him more than skills. It was teaching him patience, resilience, and confidence in himself. He had never felt so capable and proud of his abilities. That evening, Kofi returned to his small living quarters at the facility. He took off his training suit, had a light meal, and sat by the window looking at the stars above the city. He reflected on everything he had learned. For the first time, he felt that he could face challenges he never thought possible. He also felt grateful for the snowstorm that had started it all, for helping Arya, and for the chance to be part of something greater than himself. Lumo floated beside him. "Kofi, you are making progress. Tomorrow we will begin more advanced exercises, including navigation of unknown planets and working with new technologies. You are ready for the next step." Kofi smiled at the glowing orb. "Thank you, Lumo. I feel like I'm learning more every day. I am ready for anything." Over the next several days, Kofi's training became more challenging. He learned to pilot real spacecraft under controlled conditions, navigate using star maps, and handle simulated emergencies. He practiced teamwork exercises, sometimes leading the group, sometimes supporting others. He learned to build shelters and find resources in different environments, from deserts to frozen landscapes. Each day, Kofi discovered more about himself. He realized he had a natural talent for leadership, problem-solving, and encouraging others. His patience and kindness became tools that helped him connect with teammates and AI companions. He also found joy in learning new technologies, understanding how machines and systems worked, and finding creative solutions to complex problems. One day, during an advanced simulation, Kofi faced a sudden challenge. The simulator showed a severe storm on an alien planet with high winds and falling debris. His team panicked, but Kofi stayed calm. He organized the team, assigned safe positions, and guided them through the storm. By observing patterns and staying focused, he led everyone to safety. The trainers watched in admiration. "You handled that exceptionally well, Kofi," one said. "You are calm under pressure, decisive, and compassionate. You are a natural leader." Kofi felt proud but quiet. He knew that this was only training, but he also realized that these lessons would prepare him for real challenges. He thought about the students he taught and the people he helped in his community. Everything he had learned about patience, kindness, and problem-solving was now being tested in new ways. As training continued, Kofi became close to Lumo. The AI companion was more than a tool. It was a friend. Lumo had a personality, a sense of humor, and a deep understanding of Kofi's strengths and weaknesses. They laughed together when Kofi made small mistakes, celebrated successes, and discussed strategies for complex challenges. Kofi realized that having a companion who believed in him made a huge difference. During a quiet evening, Kofi sat with Lumo and looked out at the stars. "I never imagined my life could change like this," he said. "It all started with helping someone in a snowstorm. I guess kindness really can open doors, Lumo glowed softly. Yes, Kofi. Your actions and your heart led you here. Remember, your courage, patience, and kindness are just as important as your skills. You have everything you need to succeed. Kofi smiled and felt a deep sense of purpose. He realized that this training was not just about learning skills or exploring space. It was about becoming the best version of himself, using his strengths to help others and facing challenges with courage and wisdom. By the end of the week, Kofi had transformed. He felt more confident, capable, and ready for the adventures ahead. He had learned to pilot spacecraft, survive in harsh conditions, work in teams, and use advanced technology. Most importantly, he had discovered his own strength, patience, and kindness, qualities that could guide him through any challenge. Arya visited him in the training room one evening. Kofi, you have made incredible progress, she said. You are ready for the next stage of your journey. Soon you will join a team that will travel to Nova Terra. Your skills, courage, and heart will make a difference there. I am proud of you. Kofi felt a mixture of pride and humility. Thank you, Arya. I could not have done it without your guidance and Lumo's help. I am ready to face whatever comes next. Arya smiled warmly. Remember, Kofi, this is just the beginning. The challenges ahead will test everything you have learned, but I believe in you. You are ready to help build the future. As Kofi left the training room, he felt a new sense of purpose. He thought about the snowstorm, about helping a stranger, and about the journey that had begun. Everything had led him to this moment. He was ready to explore new worlds, face new challenges. Kofi woke early, his heart pounding with excitement. Today was the day he would leave for Nova Terra, the planet where humanity hoped to build a new colony. The city outside the facility looked calm and bright in the morning sunlight. For Kofi, this was no ordinary day. It was the beginning of a journey that would test his courage, skills, and determination. He dressed in the standard mission uniform, sturdy and comfortable, designed for space travel and survival on new planets. Lumo floated beside him, glowing softly. Good morning, Kofi. Are you ready for your first real mission? Kofi smiled. Yes, Lumo, I have trained for this. I just hope everything goes smoothly. Lumo blinked. Expect challenges. That is part of every mission. Remember to stay calm, observe carefully, and trust your training. The team gathered in the central launch hall. There were 6 other recruits, each from a different part of the world. They looked nervous but determined. Arya appeared, her expression calm but encouraging. Welcome, team, she said. Today you take the first step toward humanity's future on Nova Terra. This mission will test your skills, your teamwork, and your courage. I believe in each of you. Kofi felt a surge of pride. He looked around at the team and saw determination in their eyes. Each of them carried the hope of creating a new world. He realized that everyone had something unique to offer, and together they could overcome any challenge. They were guided to a sleek spacecraft waiting in the hangar. Its silver surface gleamed under the sunlight. The ship had been designed for long space travel, with advanced navigation systems, living quarters, and laboratories for experiments. Kofi stepped inside, feeling the hum of technology all around him. Lumo guided him to the pilot seat. Kofi, you will take control during navigation exercises. Trust your instincts and your training. The team strapped themselves into their seats. The engines hummed and the room vibrated gently. Outside the window, the city shrank as the spacecraft lifted off. Kofi felt a mixture of fear and excitement as the ship soared into the sky and beyond the clouds. The first hours of the journey were smooth. The team familiarized themselves with the ship's systems and performed routine checks. Kofi practiced navigating through small simulations in real time, learning how to adjust speed, avoid obstacles, and maintain balance in zero gravity. Lumo guided him patiently. Good, Kofi. You are adapting well. Keep focus and stay aware of your surroundings. The journey soon became more challenging. The ship passed through a meteor field, small rocks floating in space. The team felt the sudden jolts as the ship maneuvered around them. Kofi stayed calm, recalling his training. He guided the spacecraft carefully, dodging each meteor with precise movements. The team trusted him, and Lumo provided support by calculating trajectories and predicting potential dangers. You handled that perfectly, Kofi, one teammate said. I was nervous, but you stayed calm and guided us through. Kofi nodded. We all worked together. That made the difference. Later, they faced a technical challenge. A warning light blinked red. signaling a temporary power failure in one of the ship's engines. The team had to act quickly. Kofi coordinated with the engineers, communicating clearly and calmly. Together, they restored power, adjusted the course, and continued their journey. Kofi felt a sense of accomplishment. He realized that staying calm and thinking clearly was just as important as technical skills. During the long hours of travel, Kofi had time to reflect. He thought about Earth, about his students, and about the life he had left behind. He thought about the snowstorm, the moment he helped Arya, and how that small act of kindness had led to this incredible opportunity. He realized that life was full of unexpected turns and that courage and compassion could open doors no one imagined. As the ship approached the outskirts of the new solar system, the crew could see Nova Terra for the first time. The planet was beautiful. Its surface was a mix of green plains, sparkling lakes, and distant mountains. The atmosphere shimmered with a light blue hue. Kofi felt awe and excitement. This was not just a planet. It was a new beginning for humanity. Arya's voice came through the intercom. "Team, we have arrived at Nova Terra orbit. Prepare for descent and initial exploration. Remember your training. Stay together, communicate clearly, and observe everything carefully." The team moved to the observation deck. Kofi studied the planet below, noting the terrain and possible landing sites. The descent would be tricky because of the mountainous regions and shifting weather patterns. He felt a mixture of responsibility and excitement. This was the moment where training met reality. The spacecraft began its controlled descent. The atmosphere created a soft glow around the ship as it entered the planet's skies. Kofi guided the craft, adjusting speed and angle carefully. The team followed his instructions, trusting his calm and clear guidance. Lumo provided real-time feedback, alerting them to small changes in wind and atmospheric pressure. Finally, the ship landed safely on a flat plain near a freshwater lake. The engines powered down, and the silence of a new world surrounded them. Kofi felt a deep sense of achievement. They had made it, and this was only the beginning. The team unstrapped themselves and prepared to exit the spacecraft. Kofi felt the soft, slightly springy soil beneath his boots. The air was fresh and slightly cool. Everything was unfamiliar but beautiful. They began to unload equipment, set up temporary shelters, and prepare for initial experiments to test soil, water, and air quality. Kofi led a small group to explore the immediate surroundings. He reminded them to take careful notes, stay aware of their environment, and communicate with the team. They observed plants, small rock formations, and signs of weather patterns. Everything was new and required careful study. Kofi felt a thrill of discovery, the same feeling he had felt as a child exploring his backyard, now multiplied by the vastness of a new planet. Over the next several days, the team worked tirelessly. They built shelters using modular equipment, tested water sources, and started small gardens using earth soil and seeds. Kofi applied everything he had learned during training. He solved problems with creativity, encouraged his teammates, and stayed calm even during difficult tasks. One day, a sudden storm swept across the plains. The wind was strong and small rocks and debris were blown around. The team had to secure equipment and shelters quickly. Kofi organized everyone efficiently, assigning tasks based on strengths and experience. They managed to secure everything without damage. The storm passed and the team felt proud of their quick response. Kofi realized that the storm tested not only their skills but their ability to work together under pressure. During quiet evenings, Kofi sat with Lumo near the temporary shelters, looking at the alien sky filled with unfamiliar stars. "I never imagined I would see a place like this," he said softly. "It feels like a dream," Lumo glowed warmly. "You made this possible, Kofi. Your courage, kindness, and determination have guided the team. Nova Terra is only the beginning. You will continue to learn, grow, and make a difference here." Kofi smiled, feeling a sense of purpose and accomplishment. He realized that the journey was not just about building a colony or exploring a new world. It was about learning, helping others, and using every skill and lesson he had learned to make the future better. The first week on Nova Terra passed quickly. The team became more confident and efficient. They mapped the surrounding area, tested more resources, and prepared for long-term habitation. Kofi noticed how everyone was improving, including himself. He felt proud of their progress and inspired by the potential of this new world. One evening, as the sun set over the alien mountains, Kofi stood with the team, looking at the colorful sky. He thought about Earth, about the snowstorm, and about the journey that had brought him here. He realized that life was full of unexpected opportunities, and that helping others, staying courageous, and believing in oneself could lead to extraordinary adventures. Arya's voice came through the communicator. Kofi team, you have done well. Nova Terra is challenging, but your efforts show promise. Continue to work together, observe carefully, and stay courageous. The future of this colony depends on your determination and teamwork. Kofi nodded, feeling both responsibility and hope. He looked at the team and smiled. We can do this, he said. Together, we will make this place a home. That night, Kofi sat in his temporary quarters reflecting on the past weeks. He thought about training, the snowstorm, and the lessons he had learned. He realized that every step, from helping a stranger to piloting spacecraft, had led him here. He felt grateful, determined, and ready for whatever challenges lay ahead. Nova Terra was full of unknowns, but Kofi knew that with courage, kindness, and teamwork, they could face any obstacle. This planet, this new beginning, was a chance to show what humanity could achieve when people worked together with hope and heart. For Kofi, the mission had already transformed him. He was no longer just a teacher from a snowy city. He was a pioneer, a leader, and a part of something bigger than himself. And he knew that this was only the beginning of an incredible adventure. The sun rose over Nova Terra, painting the alien sky with shades of pink and gold. Kofi stepped out of the small shelter the team had built and took a deep breath of the crisp, clean air. Today was different. Today, the colony would take its next major step, and Kofi felt a mixture of excitement and responsibility. Months of training, travel, and hard work had led to this moment. Kofi walked with Lumo by his side. The small AI companion floated smoothly, glowing softly. Good morning, Kofi, Lumo said. The team is ready for today's tasks. Are you prepared? Kofi nodded. Yes, Lumo, we have worked hard for this. I am ready to lead and help wherever needed. The team gathered near the main shelter. Each member had a role, and Kofi quickly reviewed the day's objectives. They needed to expand the shelters, set up more farms, test water purification systems, and begin initial communications with Earth. Every task required precision, teamwork, and patience. Kofi reminded himself that every decision mattered, not just for their safety but for the success of the entire colony. The first task was expanding the shelters. Kofi and two teammates worked together to assemble modular units that would house more colonists. The pieces were heavy, but teamwork made the work manageable. Kofi instructed calmly, encouraging the team and helping them adjust pieces into place. He noticed small mistakes like bolts not fitting correctly and quickly found solutions. By midday, several new units stood firmly on the alien soil. Excellent work, Kofi said, stepping back to admire their progress. This will give the colony more space and security. Next, they moved to the farming area. The team had brought soil and seeds from Earth, but Kofi wanted to test how well they could adapt to Nova Terra's conditions. Lumo scanned the soil, analyzing nutrients, water content, and light exposure. Kofi guided the planting process, making small adjustments to ensure the seeds would grow. He carefully explained each step to his teammates, helping them understand how to manage the new environment. By late afternoon, the first sprouts of plants had emerged in the prepared plots. Kofi smiled. This is just the beginning, he said. Soon we will have enough food to sustain the colony. Every small effort counts. While the team worked, Kofi noticed a small group of unusual rock formations nearby. Curious, he approached them and examined the patterns. Using tools from their research kit, he analyzed the rocks and discovered minerals that could be useful for building materials. Kofi quickly informed Arya through the communication device. This is excellent, Kofi, Arya said. Finding resources like that will help the colony grow. Keep exploring and observing. Your insight is valuable. Kofi felt a warm sense of pride. He realized that his ability to notice details and think carefully had become a real advantage for the team. His training, combined with his natural curiosity and patience, made him a leader who could guide others while staying aware of the bigger picture. As evening approached, the team prepared for a final task, testing communication systems to establish a stable link with Earth. Kofi worked with the engineers, ensuring that the antennas were correctly positioned and that signals could travel across space. It was delicate work, requiring focus and precision. After several attempts, the system successfully connected with a research station on Earth. Kofi watched as the video feed displayed scientists smiling and waving. "This is incredible," one team member said. "We are really talking to Earth from another planet." Kofi nodded. "We are building a bridge between worlds," he said. "Every effort we make here helps the future of humanity." The team celebrated briefly, but Kofi reminded them that there was still much work to be done. He knew that patience, focus, and teamwork would be essential for long-term success. He also realized that his leadership was not about giving orders but about encouraging, guiding, and helping everyone do their best. That night, Kofi sat by the observation window, looking at the stars above Nova Terra. Lumo floated beside him. "You have done well, Kofi. The team trusts you and the colony is progressing because of your efforts. You are making a difference." Kofi smiled, feeling a deep sense of fulfillment. "I never imagined my life could change so much. Helping someone in a snowstorm led me here. Everything feels connected, like one choice led to another." Lumo glowed softly. "Kindness, courage, and determination guide every step. You are proof that one act can change a life, and even the world." The next few weeks were full of activity. Kofi and the team expanded the colony further, creating more shelters, improving water and food systems, and exploring nearby terrain. Each discovery brought new challenges, but Kofi's calm guidance and thoughtful problem-solving helped the team succeed. They worked together to map the planet, find safe areas, and prepare for future arrivals from Earth. During a routine exploration, Kofi and a small group found a hidden valley filled with unusual plants and water sources. The area was perfect for expanding the colony and growing more food. Kofi immediately reported the findings and guided the team in setting up new shelters and farms in the valley. The discovery strengthened the colony and boosted everyone's morale. Arya arrived a few weeks later to check on the progress. She walked among the shelters, observing the teamwork, the farming systems, and the organization of the colony. She smiled as she watched Kofi lead the team with patience, kindness, and intelligence. "Kofi," she said, "I am very proud of what you and the team have achieved. You have shown leadership, courage, and compassion. You have helped create something extraordinary. The colony thrives because of your efforts." Kofi felt both proud and humble. "Thank you, Arya. I could not have done it without the team and Lumo. Everyone worked together and we all learned from each other." Arya nodded. "That is exactly what leadership is about. You inspire others by helping and supporting them. That is why you were chosen for this mission. Your heart matters as much as your skills." Kofi thought about the snowstorm back on Earth. He remembered helping Arya without knowing who she was. That small act of kindness had led to his life changing completely. From a simple teacher to a leader on a new planet, he realized that every choice mattered. His courage, patience, and compassion had opened doors he never imagined. As the colony grew, Kofi became more confident in his role. He continued to guide the team, help solve problems, and encourage everyone to stay focused and positive. He watched the first crops grow successfully, shelters withstand storms, and communication systems stay strong. Every achievement strengthened his belief in teamwork, kindness, and perseverance. One day, while observing the sunset over the mountains of Nova Terra, Kofi reflected on his journey. He had left Earth with hope and curiosity, trained hard, and faced challenges that tested his courage and determination. Every step, every choice had prepared him for this moment. He realized that life could change in unexpected ways, and that small acts of kindness could lead to extraordinary opportunities. He turned to Lumo. "I feel like I have grown so much," he said. "I never expected my life to change like this. I am grateful for everything I have learned and everyone I have met." Lumo glowed brightly. "You have proven that kindness, courage, and perseverance can create great change. You are ready for the future, Kofi. Nova Terra is only the beginning. Your actions will inspire many." The colony continued to expand. Kofi led teams to explore further, discover new resources, and improve living conditions. Each day brought challenges, but Kofi faced them with confidence, calm, and a focus on helping others. He realized that leadership was not about recognition or power. It was about caring, guiding, and supporting those around you. Months passed, and the colony became self-sufficient. Shelters, farms, and water systems were fully functional. Communication with Earth was steady, and plans for future arrivals were underway. Kofi stood among the team, feeling proud of what they had accomplished. Arya visited once more and gathered the team together. "Kofi," she said, "you have changed the future of humanity. Your courage, kindness, and leadership have made this colony a success. You have shown that one person acting with heart can make a difference in the world." Kofi felt a deep sense of fulfillment. "Thank you, Arya. I am honored to be part of this journey. I will continue to help and support the team, and make sure the colony thrives." Arya smiled warmly. "You have already done more than you know. Remember, your journey started with helping a stranger in a snowstorm. That single act of kindness opened the door to a life of purpose, discovery, and leadership." Kofi looked at the alien sky, thinking about the snowstorm, his training, and the challenges he had faced. He realized that life was full of opportunities for those who acted with courage and compassion. His journey had taught him that kindness could create extraordinary change. As night fell, Kofi stood on a hill overlooking the colony. The lights of shelters glowed softly, and the plants swayed gently in the breeze. Lumo floated beside him, shining softly in the dark. Kofi smiled, feeling a sense of peace and accomplishment. He knew that life on Nova Terra was only beginning. The colony would continue to grow, and humanity's future would be brighter because of their work. Kofi realized that his life had changed completely, from a simple teacher in a snowy city to a leader and pioneer on a new planet. All of it had started with a single choice to help someone in need. Kofi took a deep breath and looked at the stars above.